Good morning, students. Now I am going to explain the concepts of ring theory, definition of ring theory. You already know something about group theory. This is the extension of group theory. Let R be a non-empty set and plus star are two binary operations in R. Then R plus comma star is said to be a ring if it satisfies the following properties. That is, R comma plus is an abelian group, R comma star is semi-group, and distributive laws holds good. That is, R comma plus is an abelian group, means R should satisfy closure law, associative law, identity law, inverse law, and commutative law under the binary operation plus. And R comma star is semi-group, means R should satisfy closure law, associative law under the binary operation star. And distributive laws means left distributive and right distributive. A star B plus C is equal to A star B plus A star C. Similarly, right distributive. Now I'm going to explain another definition, ring with unity. This is similarly identity law under multiplication. Suppose R is a ring, if there exists 1 belongs to R such that A dot 1 is equal to 1 dot A is equal to A for all A belongs to R, then we say that R is a ring with unity. Next, another definition of Boolean ring. In a ring R, if A square is equal to A for all small a belongs to capital R, then R is a Boolean ring. That means if every element A square is equal to A, then R is said to be a Boolean ring. Now I'm going to explain one of the important theorem in ring theory. That is, if R is a Boolean ring, then A plus A is equal to 0 for all A belongs to R. And second condition, A plus B is equal to 0 implies A is equal to B. And third one is R is commutative under multiplication. Now I am going to prove the first condition, that is A plus A is equal to 0 for all A belongs to R. Suppose A is an element in R, then A plus A is also an element in R by closure law. And A square is equal to A, since R is a Boolean ring, then A plus A whole square is also equal to A plus A. A plus A whole square can be written as A plus A into A plus A, which is equal to A plus A. Again, here we use a distributive law, that is A into A plus A into A plus A. We get A square plus A square plus A square plus A square, which is equal to A plus A. Since R is a Boolean ring, A square is equal to A. Then A plus A plus A plus A is equal to A plus A plus 0. By left cancellation law, we get A plus A is equal to 0. So condition 1 is proved. Next, condition 2 is A plus B is equal to 0 implies A is equal to B. From 1, we know that A plus A is equal to 0. Then replace 0 by A plus A. Then we get A plus B is equal to A plus A. By left cancellation law, we get A is equal to B. And third one is R is a commutative, that is commutative means A dot B is equal to B dot A. We know that A plus B can be written as A plus B whole square can be written as A plus B, since R is a Boolean ring. Therefore, A plus B whole square is equal to A plus B. A plus B whole square can be written as A plus B into A plus B. And after all simplification, we get A plus AB plus BA plus B is equal to A plus B. By left cancellation, by right cancellation law, we get AB plus BA is equal to 0. From condition 2, we know that if A plus B is equal to 0 implies A is equal to B. Here we get AB plus BA is equal to 0. then AB is equal to BA. That is, the commutative property is satisfied. Therefore, R is commutative under multiplication. Next, I'm going to explain some important definitions in ring theory. That is, cancellation laws already discussed in group theory. That is, in a ring for A, B, C are elements in R. If A is a non-zero element and AB is equal to AC, implies B is equal to C. That is called a left cancellation law. And if BA is equal to CA, implies B is equal to C, this is a right cancellation law. Next, integral domain. A commutative ring D with unity containing no zero divisors is called an integral domain. Or we can say that a ring R is said to be an integral domain if it satisfies a commutative ring with unity and without zero divisors. Then we say that a ring R, a ring D is an integral domain. Next, field. A ring R is said to be a field if it is commutative, has unity, and every non-zero element possesses multiplicative inverse. If you observe the definitions of integral domain and field, they differ only one property. That is, in field, every non-zero element possesses multiplicative inverse. This is similar to inverse property under multiplication. Now, I'm going to explain one of the important theorem. Statement of the theorem is every field is an integral domain. Let f plus comma dot be a field. We know that we know the definition of a field. That is, it is commutative, has unity, and every non-zero element possesses multiplicative inverse. Here, we have to prove every field is an integral domain. So it is enough to prove that every non-zero element possesses multiplicative inverse. So let us consider a non-zero element A belongs to F. Since F is a field, there exists A inverse belongs to F such that A into A inverse is equal to A inverse into A is equal to 1. Therefore, 1 belongs to F. 1 is the identity element in a field. So it is enough to show that F has no zero divisors. No zero divisors or without zero divisors, both are same. That is, AB is equal to 0 implies either A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. So consider AB is equal to 0. Here A is a non-zero element in F. A inverse belongs to F. So operate A inverse on left side. So A inverse AB is equal to A inverse into 0. So A inverse A into B is equal to 0. We know that A inverse into A is equal to 1. So 1 into B is equal to 0. Therefore, B is equal to 0. Here, if A is not equal to 0, we get B is equal to 0. Similarly, we can prove that if B is not equal to 0, implies A is equal to 0. That means if AB is equal to 0, implies either A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. That is, without zero divisors condition is satisfied. So finally, we can see that every field is an integral domain. Next important theorem in ring theory, every finite integral domain is a field. Every finite integral domain is a field means here integral domain is always a finite. Then only every finite integral domain is a field. So let us consider 0, 1, A1, A2, so on, An be all elements of integral domain D. Then D has n plus 2 elements which are finite. It is already given that it is a finite integral domain. We know that integral domain means a commutative ring with unity and without zero divisors. And we know that field is a commutative ring with unity and every non-zero element possesses multiplicative inverse. If you observe the definitions of integral domain and field, so it is enough to show that every non-zero element possesses multiplicative inverse. Then we can say that every finite integral domain is a field. So let us take A belongs to D and which is non-zero. A into 1, A into A1, so on A into AN are n plus 1 products of D by closure law. Suppose A into AI is equal to A into AJ for I not equal to J by left cancellation law, AI is equal to AJ for I not equal to J. This is contradiction. If I is equal to j, then ai is equal to aj. Here, ai is equal to aj for I not equal to j. Therefore, our assumption is wrong. So, all the products are distinct. One of the product will be identity because D is an integral domain. So one of the product means if there exists some ai belongs to D such that A into ai is equal to 1. Therefore, ai is inverse of A. That means every non-zero element possesses multiplicative inverse. Implies D is a field. Now I am going to explain the definition of characteristic of a ring. The characteristic of a ring R is defined as a least positive integer such that PA is equal to 0 for all A belongs to R. If there exists no such P, then the characteristic is 0 or infinite. I will repeat it again. The characteristic of a ring R is defined as the least positive integer such that PA is equal to 0 for all A belongs to R. If there exists no such P, then the characteristic is either 0 or infinite. Next theorem, the characteristic of an integral domain is either 0 or prime. Suppose if the characteristic is 0, then there is nothing to prove. 0 into anything is always 0. So we will prove the characteristic of an integral domain is prime. So let R plus comma dot be a ring and integral domain. Let the characteristic of R will be a P which is non-zero element. Now we have to prove that P is prime. Let us assume that P is not prime. Not prime means composite. So P can be written as M into N, where M and N lies between 1 and P. 1 is less than M, N less than P. Here A not equal to 0 belongs to R implies A into A belongs to R, implies A square belongs to R, and which is also non-zero element. That means the characteristic of A square is also P. P into A square is equal to 0, implies M into N into A square is equal to 0. We can write it as MA into NA equal to 0. Since R is an integral domain, by without zero divisors property, either MA is equal to 0 or NA is equal to 0. Suppose MA is equal to 0. Suppose MA is equal to 0, then the characteristic of A will be M. but M is less than P. This is contradiction to the definition of characteristic of a ring. Similarly, we can prove that Na equal to 0. So our assumption is wrong. What is our assumption? P is not prime. That means P is prime. Thank you.